Okay, so today we're going to do a little bit of a jump. We're going to go all the way to module 17, but we're only going to be doing one section in this module. So go to page 889, and we are going to be talking about the equation of a circle. So this is still related to us talking about circles. However, we're going to be talking about graphing these circles. We aren't going to go through the derivation of the circle just because we just don't have time for that. But here's the equation of a circle. So the equation of a circle has a center h and k, and it's got the basic part of a circle, so without an h and a k, is x squared plus y squared equals r squared. The reason why this is the parent equation with h and k being at 0, 0 is if I was to say h was 0, if I was to say k was 0, then we would have x minus 0, which is just x. So we've had x squared, and then y minus 0, which is just y squared. And r squared is the radius. So this is the radius of the circle. And I think the easiest way to show you how this works is through Desmos. So on Desmos here, I have graphed a x minus 0 and y minus 0 and then 4. Well, since we have 4 here, and this is r squared equals 4, therefore our radius is 1. 2. So our radius is 2. If I was to instead make this 9, then our radius would be 3. If I was to make this 16, our radius would be 4. If I was to make this 25, our radius would be 5. So that's how we're going to change our size of our circle. In order to move our circle to the left or the right, I just need to manipulate this number. And since there is a negative sign in both of them, the direction that you think they would go is actually opposite. So if I said x minus 2, then my circle is actually going to move to the right 2. Let me actually put my starting equation here so you guys can get a reference on where we start. So we're starting with the purple one, and then we're going to change to the green one. So if I wanted to say minus 3, we move to the right 3. If I was to say minus 4, we move to the right 4. If I was instead to say plus 2, then we're going to go to left 2, or plus 3, or plus 5, or whatever. And we're going to go to left. So plus is going to move our circle to the left, and then minus is going to move our circle to the right. So I'll move that back to the center. For y's, it's also going to do the same thing. It's going to go the opposite direction that you think. If I said minus 2, we're actually going to go up 2. If I said minus 6, we're going to go up 6. If I said plus 3, then we're going to go down 3. If I said plus 6, we're going to go down 6. So now we know how to manipulate our circle. We know how to move them left and right. All we're doing is we're changing the center, and then we can also change the size of it by changing this number here, which is our radius. So let's go ahead and go through an example problem. It says, write the equation of the circle with the given center and radius. So we're starting with our equation x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. It says our center is negative 2 and positive 5. So we're going to say x minus a minus 2 and a y minus 5 equals 3 squared. So now we just need to simplify. Minus a minus becomes x plus 2. We're going to leave the y minus 5, and then we're going to say equals 9. And that's our equation. Let's go ahead and do another problem. Of course, pausing between each of these problems so you have a chance to attempt them on your own. So I'm not going to write, well, actually, easier if I just copy and paste this equation from above, huh? So I'll just write this down on each of them. So we just plug them in. So we have x minus 4 squared. Y minus a minus becomes plus 1 squared. And then the square root of 5 cancels out with the squared, so it just becomes 5. It says here, suppose we have a circle with the equation x minus 2 squared plus y plus 4 squared equals 7. It's translated by this. So what happens to our circle? Well, normally our circle center is at positive 2, because our circle moved to the right 2, and then negative 4 because our circle ended up moving down 4. So we started off with this center, and then we are just going to do the transformation. So we're going to add 3, and we're going to subtract 1. So now we end up getting 5 and negative 5. So then we can go ahead and just apply that to our equation. So we have a positive 5, so we're not going to say x minus 5, because this is h and k. So we're going to go ahead and say that x minus h is 5, squared plus y minus k, negative 5, so we're going to say minus a minus 5, which becomes 5 squared, and that equals 7. So nothing's going to change with this number, because we're just translating. And then we're going to do a couple more, so why don't you go ahead and try this problem on your own. So I'm going to let you pause, and then I'm going to go ahead and do it. So we have a center of 4 minus 3, so x minus 4 squared, y minus 3 squared equals a radius of 16. And then you should probably graph it as well so you can practice. So my circle is going to go to the right 4, and it's going to go up 3. So I'll go ahead and plot my circle like so. We'll go right 1, 2, 3, 4, and up 1, 2, 3. So it's going to have the center 4, 3. We have a radius of 4, so that means I'm going to go to the left 4, right 4, up 4, and down 4. And then let's make fun of how good of a circle I draw. Actually, that's not too bad. I think we'll do one more. Let me see how many. Yeah, there's just two more problems that we're going to do. So go ahead and attempt this problem. All right, so we get x plus 1 squared plus y plus 1 squared equals 3. Now, the radius of square root 3 is kind of annoying, so I'm going to need to go to my calculator and figure out what the square root of 3 is, because graphing that isn't really a graphable thing. So square root of 3 is 1.7. Okay, so approximately 1.73 is our radius. So we are going to the right, we're going to the left 1 and down 1. So we'll go something like this and something like this. And our center is going to be here at -1, -1. Radius of 1.73. So that's almost 2. So we'll go here, 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 and here. And then we'll go ahead and make our circle. And then our last problem is to find the equation of the circle. So how do we find out the equation? We're going to first figure out where the center is. So go ahead and pause, find the center. 2. It looks like the center is right here. Is that right? Yeah, we're going, yeah. So our center is 2, -1. So that's going to be our h, and that's going to be our k. And then we next need to find our radius. Our radius looks like it's 5, because we're going 5 in all directions here. So r equals 5. Now all you need to do is just plug it into our equation. So we have x minus 2 squared plus y plus 1 squared equals 25, because this 5 squared is 25. And that is it. Here is your assignment. And I'll see you guys later. I can't pause.